5 months. 5 months until she loses her eyesight. That's what my former college classmate, Dr. Thomas Menon, told me after he examined my wife's eyes for 10 minutes at the emergency room. Those brutal words hit me like a speeding truck. "What are you saying, Thomas?" I managed to ask, struggling to stay afloat the wave of emotion that flooded me. "I've never seen such fast deterioration of the eyes before," he said. "I'd be lying if I told you there was a solution." I panicked. In just 5 months, she'd never enjoy another sunrise on the beach, see our girls grow up, or watch a movie with the family. I'm sorry, Dan. My life was falling apart right in front of my helpless eyes. How was I going to tell our girls that we only had weeks before the light that sparks in Mommy's eyes as she looks at them would disappear forever? I was ashamed. I was ashamed that I didn't figure this out sooner, especially since I've treated thousands of people with eye problems for more than 20 years. I was embarrassed because I didn't take better care of her, and I didn't realize how you could lose your eyesight in just a few short months with no warning signs. And I was desperate to do something for her, but I didn't know what. So why am I sharing this with you today? Because coming face to face with the darkest moment of our lives set me on a life-changing journey to uncover the real cause of vision problems and complications that may occur in the eyes. And I want you to know that it's absolutely vital you watch this presentation until the very end while you still have the chance, because it could be taken down at any moment. And that's because money-grabbing pharmaceutical companies worth $150 billion are on the verge of a nervous breakdown due to what I'm about to show you. If this gets out to the general public, it will bring an end to their cash cow. This breakthrough has already helped 41,200 people give up their glasses and improve their vision considerably, regardless of the problems they may have had, such as macular degeneration, cataracts, glaucoma, or diabetic retinopathy. And it can help you too. I guarantee that. In the next 5 minutes, you'll have your mind absolutely blown once I unveil the secret problem plaguing 99% of all people with bad eyesight. And starting today, your future will no longer include squinting, thick glasses, poor eyesight, shaking night vision, light sensitivity, or bumps and bruises because you can't see where you're going. You will be able to reverse your deteriorating eyesight regardless of how advanced your condition is. But first, you need to forget everything you thought you knew about how your eyes work and they're supposedly doomed to fail as you age. Fact is, having your eyesight clearly deteriorate from year to year is not normal. And even though it affects millions of men and women around the globe, and it has nothing to do with your genes, your age, or the amount of screen time you subject your eyes to on a daily basis. That's not it. In reality, the problem goes much deeper than that. According to studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine, poor eyesight is primarily determined by a violent inflammation, which is literally suffocating your eyes to the point where your retina gets irreversibly damaged. This destroys your vision, and it explains why poor eyesight happens to everybody regardless of age. Just in America alone, a staggering 170,000 people go blind every year, and modern medicine has absolutely nothing to offer them. Think about it. If deteriorating eyesight was simply a sign of getting old, how come we have 80-year-olds with perfect vision? For example, my grandfather managed to drive a car until he was late 70s and could still see perfectly on his deathbed. And my 40-year-old wife risked going blind in 5 months? Finding an answer became a personal obsession. And I promise you, if you stay with me today, you'll be able to almost instantly stop deteriorating eyesight, regardless of how advanced your condition is. Just imagine waking up in the morning without ever having to stumble around in the dark until you find your glasses. You'll never have to deal with the stress that comes from constantly needing your glasses on you, or the stress of filling and refilling endless prescriptions. You'll never have to worry that your eyesight might get worse and worse until the fateful day comes and you just can't see anything anymore. And you'll never, ever have to buy another pair of glasses or contact lenses, because you'll be completely free to bask in the world around you, enjoying all the sights that this big, beautiful planet has to offer, from Niagara Falls to the Grand Canyon, and you'll see it all in full HD. You'll finally be one of those people who enjoy perfect vision well into the golden years, and you'll be able to read your grandchildren all the stories they want to hear without any difficulty. This may sound strange, maybe even a little hard to believe at first, but you will be shocked to discover an unusual little change to your daily routine that can quickly restore your vision. Trust me, after doing this, nothing will stop you from getting and retaining perfect 20/20 vision for the rest of your life. And you don't have to believe me or my wife. Please listen to what Bradley F. Green from Bay, Wisconsin has to say.
I'd been wearing glasses for 28 years. By 4 p.m., my eyes were so tired and blurry I could hardly read my own license plate. But what was really making me worry was that my sight seemed to be getting worse. I never had any luck with eye supplements. I tried bilberry, lutein, and eyebright, and other remedies, but they just did nothing for me. Good money down the drain. But I really wanted to improve my vision, so I gave your method a shot. About 2 weeks later, I was able to read my cell phone screen better, even the small characters. I'll certainly continue using it. For the first time in my life, I noticed a big improvement.
Or,
when I woke up with a painful headache, I didn't think much of it because at my age, I'm used to all sorts of aches and pains. But when I realised I could not see out of my right eye, I was alarmed and went immediately to my ophthalmologist. An MRI revealed that a mini stroke had damaged my optic nerve. I was advised by the doctor to accept the loss of vision in that eye and be grateful my left eye with 20/20 vision was not affected. Then I heard about you, and in 1 month I was no longer blind. Instead of seeing black, there was a grey band obscuring the upper part of my right eye that would move when I blinked. But I could see. Even my doctor was amazed. I will continue with your method because you are definitely the best, and I want to express my gratitude for your work.
every single day, I get emails and texts from the people all over the country, and they all say the same thing, that this program has gifted them 20/20 vision, restoring their dignity and their happiness in the process. So let's get started. Hi again. My name is Dan Trout. I'm a practicing optometrist, currently living in Savannah, Georgia with my wife and 2 beautiful daughters. Ever since graduating from UCLA more than 2 decades ago, I knew that my mission in life would be treating vision loss. I was fascinated by this condition. It affects people from all around the world, regardless of age, sex, or lifestyle. There are countries like Japan where more than 50% of the population wears glasses. But did you know glasses weren't even invented until the 13th century? So why is this disease so pervasive among modern humans? I've dedicated my life to finding that out. And in the end, I did. Over the course of my clinical practice, I've treated thousands of patients with eye problems, ranging from mild myopia, severe macular degeneration, and deteriorating eyesight brought upon by type 2 diabetes. For the first few years of my practice, I stuck to the tried and true method of prescribing glasses and contact lenses. But as the years went on, I got more and more frustrated seeing how limited these treatments actually were. More of the time, the patients would just keep coming back, and I had to prescribe stronger lenses, which only weakened their natural eyesight further, until they finally lost their ability to see much of anything at all. It was depressing. It was depressing to me how many people resigned to their fate, including many of my doctor colleagues, as if we were all just postponing the inevitable. But if human beings were able to see properly for millennia prior to the invention of glasses, why couldn't we? Now, I will tell you something even more depressing. 99.9% of ophthalmologists consider vision loss as being perfectly normal and something that happens with age. And if you only look at the numbers, you'd think they're right. Over 12 million people in this country have to deal with vision impairment of some kind, and up to 93% of seniors are forced to wear glasses. This makes vision loss seem commonplace, almost normal. But I assure you that it's nothing normal about it. For instance, the Himba people of Namibia nearly all have perfect eyesight, even though they live wholly without modern medicine or all the tools we've used to get here in the Western world. So what could be causing this veritable pandemic of vision loss, and how can we stop it? One thing no ophthalmologist will tell you is that we've been relying on the same old treatments for the last 100 years. The eye care industry has failed to come up with a single new treatment that actually works. This makes people believe that deteriorating eyesight is just a fact of life, something that's unavoidable and incurable. Even surgery, the most touted development in recent years, is prohibitively expensive and doesn't come without risks. In fact, eye surgery is so risky they'll only operate on one eye at a time. Now, to my shame, I knew all these things and couldn't prevent my wife's deteriorating vision. As I told you before, Maxine had been staying at home to take care of our girls. One day she said she woke up seeing squiggly lines in her field of vision. It's just floaters, I told her, trying to be as reassuring as possible. This illustrates just how insidious eye conditions can be. Starting out as just a few squiggly lines, her vision became gradually more impaired in the following days. Soon, she started reporting pain in her left eye and couldn't focus on anything for more than a few seconds. That's when I realized things were getting serious, and I rushed her to the ER. Dr. Thomas Manette, my former college classmate, received us immediately, and after a 10-minute consultation, diagnosed her with posterior vitreous detachment. Now that's PVD for short, and a strange inflammation inside the eye. She had always worn glasses, and recently some pretty thick ones that I prescribed her, but this was something new and terrifying. I would have never expected the horrible inflammation. Then, the doctor told me, "I've never seen anything like this before. She will be blind in 5 months." What? I dared to say after his words hit me like a 10-ton truck. "Please help me," my wife implored with him, with tears rushing down her face. "I am sorry, Dan. Her level of vision impairment due to the combination of PDV and inflammation inside the eye is extreme, and I can't find any suitable treatment for this. Most likely in 5 months, she won't be able to see anything." I started to cry, and that's because I knew how hard it was to cure eye problems. It's almost impossible, and I felt defeated. During my entire career, I felt like I was just applying temporary band-aids instead of solving the real issue at the core of vision loss. The fact is that failing sight is targeting people of all ages and from all walks of life, seemingly at random. And what's worse, failing eyesight is often a symptom of much more worse illness lurking in the background. For example, farsightedness usually leads to cataracts, glaucoma, or, like in the case of my wife, retinal detachment, and strange inflammations. And unlike most diseases, it doesn't matter how well you take care of your body or how often you work out. World-class athletes like basketball star Steph Curry and former NFL running back Eric Dickerson all suffer from poor eyesight. Vision loss can strike anyone. So I stayed up night after night trying to find a treatment, any treatment that could provide my wife with some relief. I couldn't tell my girls that their mother was going blind, and I couldn't do anything to help her. So I kept thinking about everything I learned and couldn't figure out why some people seem to enjoy perfect vision all their lives while others who were just as healthy overall had to suffer the pain of losing their sight. It just didn't make sense. There had to be something else that was affecting the eyes. And it really was something else. Something that all the eye experts missed, because we only focused on the ocular system. And I would find out in just a few minutes after reading and rereading hundreds and thousands of pages without reaching any conclusion. I found an article published in a prestigious medical journal by another colleague of mine named Robert Newen. He and I used to be good friends, but we lost touch a bit when Robert specialized in gastroenterology after he finished med school and I went with ophthalmology. The article was fascinating. It talked about the discoveries that were being made in the field of gut health research. Robert and his team of scientists had concluded that gut health had far larger implications on the overall health of the body than was previously thought. In fact, he managed to establish a link between the health of a person's gut and their ability to perceive the world around them. Not only that, he proved that the health of your gut is responsible even for your sight. He explained that certain microbes in our stomachs are preventing you from fighting off dangerous invaders, which leads to inflammation throughout the body, including your neck and the back of your eyes, leading to headaches, feelings of vertigo, and other symptoms. This idea made sense to me, and it was the only new thing that gave me a little hope after thousands of pages and hundreds of internet searches. And that's because our bodies are a complex web of chemical reactions and mechanisms where each part communicates with other. Simply focusing on one part of the issue to the exclusion of all others leads to tunnel vision. Needless to say, reading Robert's breathtaking work made me want to get in touch with him instantly. Unfortunately, I didn't have his phone number anymore, so I frantically searched online until I find Robert's Instagram profile. I left him a message, and after 2 hours, he had already answered me. Now, Robert was quite the character, intelligent and always quick with a joke. He enjoyed a distinguished career working as a reputable hospital such as Johns Hopkins, as well as being a world-renowned researcher on gut health. He asked me how I was doing and nearly broke down on the phone when I told him that my wife could soon go blind in just a few months. Even though I hadn't heard from Robert in 10 years, I felt like I just had to release all these emotions that was bottled up inside of me. After I told him about my wife's condition, Robert's tone turned serious. I might be able to help, he said. Needless to say, I was so desperate that I immediately invited him to lunch. Unfortunately, he was at a conference and would return in 3 days, but that didn't hold me back. I started counting the hours until we saw each other. 3 long days felt like months, and then we met. I noticed something was very different about Robert. You see, back in med school, Robert was constantly mocked and belittled for having poor eyesight. His nickname around campus was Blind Bob, and he always wore thick spectacles just to be able to read the coursework. But now Robert was no longer using glasses. He had no trouble reading the menu and ordering food, and he appeared to be much more comfortable in his own skin. Bob, my friend, you look great. Did you get eye surgery or something? I barely recognize you without your thick glasses. Dan, I haven't worn glasses in 2 years. And no, there was no surgery involved. I was dumbfounded. Robert was as visually challenged as anyone I'd ever met. He could somehow fix his vision. Maybe there was still hope for my wife too. But what he said next really blew my mind. What I have discovered over the years is amazing, and you, as an optometrist, will be the first to be surprised. The loss of vision quality is directly related to your gut health. Even more surprising is that it doesn't have anything to do with your eyes. No matter how crazy it sounds, it's true, and I'll prove it to you. Because I tested my theory, and it worked. And not only for me, I'm sure it will work for your wife too. Conditions we previously thought were not connected to gut health are in fact symptoms of inflammation inside the digestive tract. Let me tell you how I discovered this. It all started with pizza. Somebody ordered pizza at the lab after a long day of work. And there must have been something wrong with that food because 3 of us, we got really sick afterwards. The kicker? All 3 of us had poor eyesight. And we had all worn glasses since we were kids. This got me thinking, what if there was a connection between gut health and poor eyesight? Why did only the 3 of us with vision problems suffer symptoms after eating pizza? Why didn't anybody else? Seemed crazy at first, but numbers do not lie. After performing extensive tests on lab rats, the results were clear as day. Every lab rat with myopia had certain microbes in their stomach that were preventing them from fighting off dangerous invaders, such as Rhizopus, Candida, and Aspergillus. Then, after some detailed analysis and careful microscopic observation, I noticed that these parasitic organisms cause inflammation in the whole body, reaching the ocular level and leading to some terrible headaches. In fact, the headaches are an alarm signal that certain invaders in your body are progressively deteriorating your eyesight. This was huge, he said. It meant that if we could target these microorganisms, we can also reduce inflammation and potentially reverse the damage done to the eyes. Together with my team, we worked around the clock to find out which substances could flush out such organisms and prevent them from ever gaining a foothold in the digestive system again. Since our studies were bankrolled by a big pharmaceutical company, I knew that funding could be pulled at any moment if they didn't like the direction our research was heading. So, what did I do? I kept the results hidden and experimented on myself as a test subject. Incredibly, after a few weeks of following the treatment I designed, I had successfully reversed the chronic myopia I had since early childhood. And you know me, this is not just a story. And he was right. I knew the problems he had with his eyes. His lenses were as thick as the bottom of a jar. Now you know our industry. The sad thing is that I can't show this discovery to everybody. If people could trigger their own immune systems to fight off things like deteriorating eyesight, just imagine what that would do to the big pharma's monopoly. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The discovery should have won my friend the Nobel Prize. Instead, he was preoccupied with keeping it hidden from greedy corporations. This was not acceptable for me, especially since my wife was almost blind, and there were millions more suffering from eye problems in the world. Based on my knowledge of medicine, I knew what he said made sense. The walls of human intestine are thin, and microorganisms manage to pass through them all the time. If such parasites manage to spread throughout the body, they could easily affect eye tissues. This also explains why some people are prone to eye problems all their lives, while others never have to worry about deteriorating eyesight or any other conditions related to their eyeballs. They simply have stronger, healthier stomachs that can flush out harmful bacteria before it spreads to the rest of the body. Finally, an explanation that answered my questions and showed eye problems can start at any age and affect anybody. Now, that cause was clear. I was extremely curious to find out what substances can eliminate these invaders from our bodies forever. So, I asked Bob. If he used antibiotics, and he immediately told me that antibiotics are the most unsuitable because they destroy 80% of the intestinal flora. Then he assured me that's all the ingredients in his formula were naturally sourced. There was not a hint of artificial chemicals in them. It took him almost 2 years to properly mix the ingredients for maximum potency, and the solution had no side effects. Basically, the mixture works in 3 stages and relies on a complex formula built around several rare and hard to find ingredients that all work together to reduce inflammation and restore eyesight as efficiently as possible. In Robert's words, the 3 stages are like this. Stage 1, the accommodation period. In this stage, your body adjusts to the incredibly potent nutrients provided by this formula. Since your body may have been deprived of such nutrients for years on end, it is important that you be patient and stick to the process. Results should appear quickly as the ingredients flush out dangerous toxins that have been causing inflammation throughout the body, damaging your eyes in the process. After allowing enough time to nourish, cleanse, and detoxify your system properly, you'll soon reap the rewards of eyesight restoration. Stage 2, the renewal stage. This is where the magic happens. Once all the parasites and harmful bacteria have been flushed out of your system, your body can begin the natural process of clearing out the neural pathways that link your eyes to your brain. In other words, this is the stage where your eyes start to heal and repair themselves. For some people, it may start as soon as a few days into the process. For others, it may take weeks. But little by little, you should feel your eyesight getting clearer and sharper with each passing day. Little details you may have missed previously will become visible again, and along with this, your headaches and your mental fog will disappear. Since the healing process affects your body, it doesn't matter whether you suffered from myopia, glaucoma, cataracts, or any other myriad eye problems that can afflict you. Once the inflammation subsides, your body will have all the necessary tools to heal itself, and you'll notice these changes very clearly. Stage 3, the stabilization phase, probably the most important stage. This is where the positive changes to your body become permanent. Once your eyesight has been restored and the neural pathways that connect your eyes to your brain have been strengthened, it becomes crucial that you continue with the treatment so that you'll never have to worry about losing your vision again. After all, the last thing you want is for things to go back to square one. Now let me tell you about the miraculous ingredients I included when I created the recipe, Bob said to me. But keep in mind that these need to be mixed in appropriate quantities and under strict supervision to produce the desired effects. They are all absolutely wondrous gifts that nature has bestowed upon us. First, marigold flower, whose active substance lutein fights off inflammation on a cellular level. It also guards against oxidative damage caused by the sun's rays, which anyone who has ever witnessed sunlight has experienced. Then there's quercetin, a compound famous for its vision-restoring properties, so much so that it's sometimes included in eye drops and creams. But the version I use is high-powered, due to being extracted from kale leaves grown in the mountains areas of Turkey. I've also added a generous helping of bilberry, an antioxidant-rich fruit that neutralizes harmful bacteria and prevents them from gaining a foothold in your intestinal tract. Complemented by red grapes varieties shown to strengthen retinal function, thus enhancing your vision and countering oxidative stress. The recipe wouldn't be complete without vitamin A, #1 eye tonic that shields the ocular systems from damage and improves eyesight even in severe cases of macular degeneration. I also added in some taurine, an energizing and refreshing compound that makes nutrient absorption faster and easier while also providing you with a boost to your mental sharpness and eliminating migraines for good. Then Robert told me another 11 ingredients, all with functions as important as those mentioned above, and all with the aim of fulfilling the 3 essential stages of healing. Robert's mixture sounded promising, but I still doubted it would work for my wife. Maybe her body had already been overrun by these microorganisms. Maybe it was too late. You'll never know unless you try, he said. And that's why I prepared this treatment for you before I came here, so that Maxine could start her healing process today. Look at me. Ever since I finished this treatment, my vision has been a perfect 20/20. I could be an airplane pilot if I wanted to. I've thanked Robert a million times. Then he told me he feared that this discovery would be lost in time and that he would never be able to help other people with vision problems. So I made him a promise. If this helps my wife, I promise you I'll do everything I can to help, because I don't want anyone else to suffer the pain Maxine is going through now. That night, I came home to Maxine with a small liquid vial containing the solution prepared by Robert before our meeting. I explained to her what it was all about and how it was a last-ditch attempt to save her eyesight. In the meantime, Maxine's vision had deteriorated even further, so she accepted immediately. The following morning, Maxine took 2 teaspoons of the formula after breakfast, anxiously awaited to see if she would feel anything weird after the first dose, but she said she felt perfectly fine. Still, we didn't notice any drastic changes in her eyesight for the first few days. I was beginning to think my wife's vision was now too far gone. But one sunny morning, about a week after she started the treatment, she woke up with a big smile on her face. "I can see her eyes again," she said proudly. I was floored. Ever since she was diagnosed, she woke up crying every morning, paralyzed by headaches and fear. This was the first time I actually saw her happy in weeks. It's the formula. It came through in the end. She jumped up and gave me a hug. Excited by the results, she continued taking it day after day. Soon, her headaches were completely gone. Her left eye, which had become swollen with inflammation, looked normal again. And most importantly, she could see! Maxine had begun to distinguish colors properly once more. She could even read her favorite books again, not to mention get around the house without stumbling into furniture. She literally couldn't believe her eyes. As far as I was concerned, this was a miracle. I examined her eyes closely, and it really was true. There wasn't a hint of retinal detachment, and her myopia had disappeared right then and there. She threw her glasses in the trash and never, ever picked them up again. The very next day, I took her to Thomas, and he confirmed my analysis, even though he couldn't believe it either. Whatever we did, it had worked. Jumping for joy, I immediately called Robert to tell him the good news. He was as happy as I was, because this proved that this formula would work even for people with advanced deterioration of the eyes like my wife. That's when we realized that we couldn't just keep this to ourselves. It was time to keep my promise to Bob. So I decided to put up an ad asking for volunteers to try a new eyesight treatment. The response was overwhelming. We got 212 people in a week who were willing to try it. All of them had suffered visual deterioration of some kind. Some had been wearing glasses since they were children, while others had more severe cases of glaucoma and cataracts. A few had attempted to solve their issues via surgery, but were unsatisfied with the results, and most were resigned to the fact that they'd have to live out their entire lives without being able to properly take in the beauty of the outside world. Robert and I, well, we thought we could help them, so we designed a test where participants could receive the formula for free. All we asked was to take the formula 2 times a day after eating and to fill out a daily report informing us about their progress. Now, I expected some improvement, but nothing could have prepared me for what came next. In less than 1 week after giving them the mixture, every single participant in the study was bombarding me and Robert with messages saying how incredible the results were. Some had regained the vision they hadn't enjoyed since childhood, while others, the glaucoma and cataracts that had affected their eyes, cleared up with 0 side effects. Overall, our participants reported a 98% satisfaction rate over the course of treatment, with many of them citing the disappearance of headaches brought on by poor vision and an overall improvement in mental sharpness as additional benefits. It was incredible to witness. We tested our participants repeatedly to ensure that they weren't biased in any way and that the reports were backed by science. By the end, each and every one of them had 20/20 vision and what I'd call eagle eyes. This brought me measurable satisfaction to our participants, and that's when I knew we had a winner. The only dilemma was how to get this out quickly so that as many people as possible could benefit from it. Robert told me that sourcing the ingredients alone was time-consuming and labor-intensive. They were grown on 3 separate continents and had to be sourced locally to ensure their potency and lack of artificial compounds. But I knew the sacrifice would be worth it in the end, even if it took me the better part of a year and most of my life savings to bring this product to market. After we had gathered up enough ingredients, we also found a manufacturing company here in the USA that was capable of mixing them in the exact doses needed to fulfill the recipe's potential. I can't stress this enough. Even if you have traveled the world and gathered the ingredients itself, the recipe still won't work properly unless they were combined in the appropriate doses and mixed carefully according to specific scientific formulas. As experts, we knew this. So we went to great lengths to ensure that the manufacturer followed our strict guidelines while also abiding to safe GMP practices. We decided to call it Ocuprime, and it is the #1 formula for healthy eyes and vision because that's what it does. It restores the natural health of your eyes before inflammation, parasites, or other complications took hold of them completely. We managed to pack no less than 16 potent plant extracts and vitamins into 1 easy-to-swallow capsule, which immediately reduces the inflammation in your entire body, eliminating the stranglehold that your eyes have been subjected to. This protocol is easy to follow and is also diabetic-friendly. It does not require any dietary modifications, so you can go on eating all of your favorite foods and it'll still work like a champ. Working on our own and with no help from any big pharma company, we managed to create a solution that has helped thousands of people around the world regain their sight. I'm talking about people like Donald Tiernan from Marfa, Texas, who says,
"About 7 months ago, I went to see an ophthalmologist because I'm a diabetic. His examination showed severe cataracts. He prescribed a surgery right away, but I told him I would think it over, since surgery of any kind scares me to death. One day my daughter showed me your video. After a month, I decided to go to the ophthalmologist again, and guess what? He did not say a word about cataracts or surgery. I'm really impressed. I owe the improvement of my eyes to you.
And Eleanor Jones from Cody, Wyoming, who also confessed that
It worked! Oh my God, it really worked! I suffered from blurry vision in my eyes, and your method cleared my vision in less than a month. At first, I didn't think this was possible, but this method deserves an award.
honestly, I could talk to you all day about the success stories we have, but nothing beats the feeling of trying it for yourself and experiencing the joy of having perfect vision once again. In just a few weeks, you'll have the eyesight of an eagle and be ready to take on anything life throws at you. Your headaches will be a thing of the past, and you won't need any more expensive glasses or contacts. Now, once that happens, your mood will shift, and you'll begin to literally see life differently. Your friends and family will be amazed at this transformation and will want to know your secret. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I get my hands on OcuPrime? Well, you're in luck. This website is the only place that offers the certified original formula of OcuPrime, the #1 formula for healthy eyes and vision. We want to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck, so we cut out the middleman completely and are offering it directly to you. Unfortunately, this means we only produce it in small batches that sell out almost instantaneously after we put them in line. I won't lie to you, OcuPrime has been proven to be immensely popular, far outpacing our ability to produce it. There are lots of people out there with vision impairment who do anything to solve their problem as quickly as possible, which makes our ability to keep high stocks on hand pretty much impossible. Plus, each and every person who has tried OcuPrime and improved their vision is asking for more to give to their friends and family. Our supply can hardly keep up with demand, which is why stock typically runs out in a few days and every time we get a new shipment. And you should know that we produce OcuPrime in small batches only, which take up to 3 months to deliver, which means that once we run out of stock, you'll have to wait for about 3 months until you get your hands on this formula. Then there are the big pharma companies who threaten to shut us down if we don't take down the website, because it's already starting to cut into their profit margins. We've managed to fight them off for now, but we're only 2 people against an army of lawyers. But since you're here and have listened to this presentation all the way, I'm going to reserve a few bottles for you. Of course, if you leave this page, I cannot guarantee you supply when you come back. So don't risk it. Order OcuPrime now while supplies last. After seeing the results of more than 41,200 women and men from all over the world, we recommend taking at least 3 bottles of OcuPrime over a period of 90 days. And if you want to be completely safe, then we recommend taking at least 6 bottles or more. This is guaranteed to naturally restore your crystal clear 20/20 vision for the rest of your life. Thousands of men and women have confidently used OcuPrime with mind-blowing results. They now enjoy a new life that has been given to them. A life where they don't have to constantly worry about driving at night, reading texts, or spotting tiny details. A life in which they're free to explore the beauty of this world with their own eyes. A life spent focusing on the things that actually matter, instead of worrying about losing their sight every day of their lives. Now, after hearing all this, you understand why this program was initially priced at $397. Now, given our results, I have no doubt OcuPrime would have sold out at these prices. But I'm not here to make money for myself. I've made a pretty good living during my more than 2 decades of practice, and I'm planning on retiring soon. So, this is my way of giving back. I want to help you and the millions of women and men who have gone through the same vision loss nightmare that my wife and Robert went through. That's why I'm not going to ask you for $397, $297, or even $197. In fact, today, while this website is still up, you have a one-time chance to get the proven formula that repairs your eyes and helps you regain your perfect 20/20 vision in a matter of weeks for only $69 a bottle. And because I know how important it is to regain your eyesight in life, I've managed to get our manufacturer to offer a big discount on the 6 bottle packages of OcuPrime. This means that you can get it for only $49 per bottle and also enjoy free shipping on top while supplies last. But once OcuPrime is out of stock, the discount is gone forever. So go ahead, select your package, and join the 41,200 men and women who have already restored their vision and reaped all the benefits of picture-perfect eyesight. These people are living proof that you can live a life free of glasses and contact lenses, a life that you can get to experience in full HD using only your God-given eyes. 3 bottles of OcuPrime will get rid of the inflammation that's slowly killing your eyes. It will also boost your energy levels, nourish your eyes, strengthen your immune system, and significantly improve your vision. But there's a reason why 98% of our users choose the 6-bottle package. Once you go with the 6-bottle package, in just 6 months from now, you'll be able to completely shield yourself against eyesight deteriorating inflammation. The results you got will be permanent, and you'll never have to worry about vision loss again. Now, if this sounds promising, look below. Now, you'll see 3 packages, 2 of them with a major discount I've managed to secure from our manufacturer. Select the one you want, and keep in mind that clinical trials have shown that the 3 or 6 bottles packages lead to increased results, and hit the buy button below. Once you've secured your order, we'll immediately ship OcuPrime, the #1 formula for healthy eyes and visions, straight to your doorstep. Now, let me prove to you just how sure I am that OcuPrime will work. I am prepared to offer a 60-day money-back guarantee for any purchase of OcuPrime. That's right. If you aren't completely satisfied with my product, just return the unused bottles and I'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. You've got 2 full months to decide if OcuPrime is the right thing for you, but you need to hurry. Robert and I have made a lot of enemies by posting this program online. Vicious, vision-lost industry giants who woke up this morning and noticed their bank account balance was slimmer than yesterday. Cynical drug manufacturers who don't know what to do with the remaining inventory of cheap knockoff products. Each one of them wants a site off the internet. So, if they ever do prevail and I'm forced to take down this website, you'll be on your own. But why would you give up on your only real chance to actually restore your vision when you could join the 41,200 men and women who have already done just that? When you have so little to spend and so much to gain, just picture it. No more stumbling around in the dark when you get up in the morning. No more endless fear of going blind in the near future. And no more glasses or contact lenses. Imagine not having to bring them with you when you travel or you go on a date. Instead, imagine waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and seeing your shining, beautiful eyes looking back at you with 100% crystal clear vision. It all starts when you select your package below and hit the buy button. It's time for you to make the choice. The decision you're about to make will decide the course of the rest of your life. You can choose to continue spending your hard-earned money on the same old products on the market and hope in vain for a miracle to happen, when you already know that even though they may alleviate symptoms for a while, none of them, absolutely none of them, treat the root cause of poor eyesight. Or you can take a small step now and ensure perfect vision for years to come. Just pick the package that's right for you, hit the button below, and regain control over your life again. You have the power to restore your 20/20 vision, and it's only one click away. No more foggy vision or brain fog. No more injuries and accidents because you lost your glasses again. No more fear of eye complications in the future. You are the only one who has the power to get your happiness back without risking anything. So you can say goodbye to all those expensive trips to the doctor and repair that toll that eye damage has on every aspect of your life. The patented OcuPrime formula works for any eye problem, regardless of the length or severity of your condition. Plus, in a minute, hit the buy button below and make OcuPrime the best investment of your life. I'll be waiting for you on the other side.